Justice can be thwarted. Justice can be truncated. Justice can be averted. And justice can suffer and cry. But as justice is being thwarted in one way or the other, don't forget that when you take something and throw up, that thing will go up and go up. At the end of it all, whatever is thrown up and whatever goes up will surely one day find its way to start coming down. That is how life is. Because all of the things that are happening, especially in Nigeria, and also the people called the people of Biafra, has become a very big issue that the whole world and the international communities want to know, and everybody is interested in the matter, because we are in a country whereby people are somehow marginalized, and people are somehow abandoned, and people are somehow rejected, and some people are not even allowed to play their role or to contribute to the nation building. And when I begin to look at this matter, what is the root cause of this? The Lord began to took me back to what's called 1968, when there was Biafra war in Nigeria. What happened then? What happened then was what people framed up what's called allegation on a particular set of people, that these people are planning coup, they plan coup, 1966 coup, or this and that, and blackmail the people with propaganda, and the people were fought against, the people were attacked, the people were somehow disenfranchised and also destroyed, and so many things happened so as to make sure that the people are silent. But at the end of it all, a secret opened with prophecies and revelations. The secret will open. Finally, secret has opened, and all of those things that we are told become lies. And so people were so troubled that you see all the agitations all over the world, because people who knew what happened were all committed to making sure that they agitate, that truth must prevail. And the one thing I want you to know, that when it comes to nation, and it comes to people, or it comes to a tribe, or it comes to a people, any man that rises for them is their Lord, becomes their Jesus. Or how do I put it? Any man that rises for them becomes their Messiah. And you must understand with a major prophet that God will not come down from heaven and begin to now speak to people with the or maybe with white beard, or being having 20 or wings and all of that. God will surely use a man to stand in the gap. So all of this thing that is happening right there in a place called Biafra has become an issue that a lot of people need to know about. And this is what resulted into so many things. When people are disenfranchised, people are not accepted, people are not even counted, many things begin to happen. And this thing that is happening about disenfranchised, marginalization and all of that does not even favor any part of the country. Because somebody will say, okay, if you marginalize these people, it will make these people to be kings and make them to be presidents. No, it does not benefit any tribe. Marginalization in a setting will always set the country back, because you cannot underestimate the giftings of God upon my life. You cannot underestimate the gift or the qualities or my endowment or my contribution to nation building. When you underestimate me and you do not count me into nation building, you have simply hindered yourself. Because counting me and estimating me as somebody who can do something will give me the impetus and the charges to be able to add to the nation building. But when you count me out, you will struggle, because the more you try to patch, another place will leak. You patch this side, the other side will leak. So over the week, people begin to now tell me, and begin to now all the things that happen, the judgment of what's called the people that are somebody that is this is an agitator right there in Finland. When I look at it, the people were like, oh, look at the judgment. I say, it is not all about judgment. It's all about what people has been made to see. Because in every group of people, there must be somebody who is saying the truth in one way or the other. When people gather together and begin to say things, somebody must be there that knows the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is that in the world today, to get justice is impossible. Justice can be thwarted. Justice can be truncated. Justice can be averted and justice can suffer and cry. But as justice is being thwarted in one way or the other, don't forget that when you take something and throw up, that thing will go up and go up. At the end of it all, whatever is thrown up and whatever goes up will surely one day find its way to start coming down. That is how life is. If somebody smiled today, tomorrow may not be his turn to smile again. Somebody laughed today, tomorrow may not be his time to laugh again. Somebody cried today, tomorrow may not be the turn of that person to cry again. Life is in phases, and the life comes and life goes. Generations are upon generations, phases. One generation to another, one generation to another. And what does that mean? If we keep on in this part of the world, continue to use what's called injustice in one way or the other, it will never be good. This will not favor us in the long last. Injustice will not take us anywhere. What will take us far is when there is justice, when there's rule of law, when there's what's called equal rights and equality everywhere. It will go a long way to help us to be able to build the nation that we all are praying for. If I make myself the king of the universe and I begin to marginalize the people or begin to oppress the people, I will not have peace, because even though as a king there are many things that you need to look at that will never ever be in place until the right things are put in place. And I want everybody to know that as far as the world leadership is concerned, there are too many things that are very, very wrong. If you want to rise to become a champion to fight for people, you are going to face so many things. Any person on the face of the earth who stands and said, I want to face and fight for right, or fight for my right, or fight for the right of my people, or fight for the right of the less privileged, or whatever, we surely face a lot of things. And if care is not taken, what that person will face can even make the person to give up. The person can even say, I'm no longer interested. So if you look at what is going on all over the world, there is no justice in the world. They know the truth, the world knows the truth, but the world doesn't want to follow the truth. But one thing you must know, if you like, bury the truth. Truth will stay in the grave 3 days. And Jesus said, destroy the temple, the Son of Man will build it again. And they destroyed the temple, and after 3 days, he arose again. And everything that went wrong, we are corrected, and everything went right again. Because what is happening right there in the world, especially in Nigeria and other parts of the world, is somehow that we need to pray, and we need to also stand and speak the truth at all times to be able to counter some of these things. So the Lord has already given major prophet everything that is going to happen, and I want to pass it across as prophecy. Because when I look at the judgment that was passed right there to Simon Ekpa'S right there in Finland, I said this was called people take laws and do whatever they do with the law. But that 6 years that is penciled there, it's not going to be possible. What I'm seeing is that the matter will resolve even faster than expected, because this matter is going to be squashed at the shortest time. You will see that the case will not hold any water. But we must continue to look at what is the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to give people their rights. The right thing to do is to stop oppression of the poor, or oppression of the needy, or oppression of the less privileged, or oppression of a particular set of people, because every oppression will lead to people reacting. You cannot push somebody to the wall and not expect the person to react. We are not right here in this world to become enemy of ourselves. It is human beings that have turned themselves to enemy of human. And the hunger today in the world, it is not God that brought hunger. And somebody said, oh, the world has spoiled. It is not the world that spoiled. It is the people in the world that has damaged everywhere. When the people in the world has not started evil, the world was peaceful. Everything in the world was peaceful. And that's what the singer sang and say, Uwamakama, Uwa makama o, uwa makama manopumu wa mebiruwa. Uwa uwanto, uwanto, uwa uwanto, uwanto. Uwa makama, uwa marama o, uwa makama manopumu wa mebiruwa. Uwa Abumuwa mebiruwa, Abumuwa mebiruwa, Uwa makamba, Uwa marama, Manobumuwa mebiruwa, Uwanto. Amen. So the world is a good place, but the people in the world has damaged everything. And so when we look at God in heaven and we begin to pray to God, oh God, show us mercy, oh God, remember also, look at the world, oh, all these things. So God will not ask question, what has spoiled? Is it the moon that is no longer coming out? The moon is still coming out. Is it the sun that is no longer shining? The sun is shining. Is it the stars that are no longer there? The star is there. Is it the mountains that are melted, or what happened? The mountain has not melted. Is it the water in the ocean that are no more? The water is there. So what is the fault of God? Is it day that does not break again? Day break, and day also come to evening. Evening time comes, morning time comes, night and day, they are still there. Nothing has damaged in it. So where is the spoil, and what is the thing that caused the world to be very, 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 very troublesome, or to be very, 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 very big problem to fellow brothers and sisters? It is the human in the world that has damaged everything. But we will not relent. We will continue to pray. We'll continue to do the right thing. We'll continue to follow up, because we know that justice delayed and denied is not that justice will not prevail. At the end of it all, the right thing must come to be in place. Let the right thing be done. Let the right of everybody be given to the person. Let the right of the people be given to the people. And let that which is right be done. You will see that at the end of it all, the truth will always prevail. So my own take on all of this thing that happened about judgment is that it's for a while. It's for a while. It's just for a while. For a while, it will be a thing of the past. And the right thing must actually prevail. And what is the right thing? A people must be recognized. A people must have what belongs to them. A people must not be oppressed. A people must not be under oppression. People must take what belongs to them. That is the truth of the matter. That is the proper truth of the matter. A people must always have what belongs to them. And at the end, we will give God the glory, and we will praise his name. And we will continue to trust God and believe God on what God is going to do. The will of God for all is that all may be happy. The will of God for all is that all must be peaceful. The will of God for all is that everywhere must be okay. And so we must be very careful to know that the will of God is that all must be happy and all must fulfill purpose. So this is the way it is, and we must continue to pray about it and trust God. Trust God, for God is God. God is not wicked. And God cannot turn his back on his people. God cannot abandon his people. God cannot forsake his people. God has finished everything he needs to do. The rest is left for man. It's left for humanity. Because if I tell you this, you will not believe. I want to tell you the truth. The truth is that there is no government of the earth that wants to be overthrown. No government of the earth that wants to come to an end. No individual that wants to lose territory. And there's no government of the world that wants people to just be free from their leadership or governance. So everything will be done to make sure that people do not ask for their rights, or people oppress or fight for what they deserve. So everything will be done to make sure that they are not allowed to take what belongs to them. So that is the way it is. And the earlier you know this, you will know that even as a freedom fighter or somebody who is fighting, oh, you are an activist or whatever you are, you must know that you must have bad names You must also have what's called people hate you. You must also have what's called people will look at you and they will say, this person, you are evil. They will even pay allegation on you, and it might also end up in prison. It might also end up in different kind of things, and many things will happen. But you know that the truth will always prevail at all times. The truth will always shine. If you like, bury the truth for 100 years. One day the truth will come out of the grave and the truth will speak. The truth will speak. The truth will prevail. The truth will stand the test of time. And the truth will go through pains and will go through difficulty and go through challenges and go through proof. But at the end of it all, the truth will shine like a gold. The truth will come out and the truth will be there. And nothing anybody can do about it. The truth will always stand. And I want to make this thing very clear that the earlier we understand the potentials of everybody, the earlier we know that in the country Nigeria, there are every tribe, every part of the country have their potential. But the moment we know that and we begin to explore and begin to make sure that we use all this potential is when our rising will come. But if we ignore the potential of these ethnic groups, these very different the tribes in the country, we ignore it and we don't want to care about their potentialities and all of that, we continue to hinder ourselves. We continue to set ourselves backward. We continue to allow the people, the Westerners, to be greater than us, to go higher than us, and we are there crying, oh, where is the expatriates? Where are the Oyibos? Where are the people who are going to come and help us? While what you are looking for is already with you. What you are looking for in Sokoto is in your Sokoto, and you ignore it. After all, this is a tribe that is hated. These are people we don't want to hear from them. These are people we don't care about them. You end up hindering yourself. So let the nation wake up. Let the people of the nation wake up and discover the potentials that are in this, all these ethnic groups, all these very tribes, all these very minorities that we'll call it minorities. You look at these minorities and all of these people you look at as minorities, begin to look at them and see the potentials in them. That is when our rising will come. That is when our greatness will come. That is when we become who we ought to be. That's when we will now move out of slavery and enter into what's called the real owners of the land and the indigenous of the land. If that is not done, we'll be chasing cloud and every day running a scatter. That is not the will of God. And God did not propose this. This is not the proposal of God. That in a nation that is so blessed like this, we'll be running a scatter, insecurity, hunger, pains, marginalization, intimidations, this and that, no propriety and no things being proper. So we need to wake up from there and let the people who are in the seat of authority think twice and do the right thing, and use this the opportunity they have to do the right thing. Because whatever we do on the face of the earth in our time, at the end of it all, people will ask questions. So person was on seat. What did he do? So person was in power. What did he do? So person was a governor. What did he do? So person was a minister. What did he do? So person was this. What did he do? And so you make a name for yourself. You look at the people in the countries that called Burkina Faso. Look at how their president, Ibrahim Traoré, look at what he's doing. And today his name has entered the book of gold. His name has entered the book of remembrance. Their people can never ever forget him anymore.
All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you back-to-back update and information as the hot. In case you are first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drops, you will be the first. We'll collect them. Let's go down to the news proper as the hop. Of course, remember, about 3 days ago, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa'S, was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment in Finland by Haiti court. Of course, that particular judgment was based on the district court, and according to the information I have, that Simon Ekpa'S can still appeal the ruling of the district court in the higher court, and I think that that is what he is going to do because he still have some chances in order to be able to appeal on that particular judgment. But all right, happening now in Anambra State, Anambra youth Agone Chamber commences search for Simon Ekpa'S men as followers flee Happening in Anambra State, the information reaching us is that after the announcement of Mazi Simon Ekpa'S CCA sentencing by the Finnish court in Haiti, which was the ruling of the district court, which he can still appeal, that some of the members of the group have started fleeing, of which I know that this could be a propaganda. But as it is, they say that the men of the Agone Chamber in Anambra State have taken a step in making sure that every member of the Biafra Liberation Army or autopilot is being apprehended. Let's go down to the full detail of that particular information. As it is, it is hot for Anambra State now. Everywhere is getting hot. There is fire for fire in the camps of the Liberation Army and also that of the Agone Chamber. And it's a face-to-face fight, a face-off, and we don't know who is going to become the victor or the valiant of this particular fight. Let's go down to the full detail of this particular information. 24 hours after the court in Finland sentenced the leader of the autopilot squad, Simon Ekpa, to 6 years imprisonment, the youth in Anambra State and the Agone Chamber security squad is said to have commenced manhunt of his men. According to a source, the youth has approached some members of Agone Chamber Security Squad to cope the border towns of Anambra State, which includes Obaru, Ayamelum, Urumba South, Ihara, Okano local government areas. It was gathered that some of the gunmen had fled their camps on hearing that their leader had been convicted and that they are fast relocating to neighboring states in the southeast. An eyewitness who pleaded anonymity for fear of being fished out by the government narrated that one of the camps at Ore Zukala in Orumba South local government area has been deserted by the government since Monday yesterday to an unknown destination, adding that those that attack farmers can no longer be seen. There is a camp at Ore Zukala where they stayed and operate from, but this morning we saw no one, and we suspected that it was as a result of the judgment against the leader of the Biafra Republic government in exile in Finland. Before now, they would drive around town harassing people and asking for money, but we did not see them, and most of the youths in our place have been searching for them to flush them out, he said. In all kind of borders with Enugu State, a similar information filtered into the suspecting government had fled some of the camps for fear of being arrested by Agone Chamber and the community youths. When contacted, the special advisor to Governor Charles Soludo on community security, Prince Kelechi Emekani, is here to comment or confirm the development. The police public relation officer of the Agone Chamber Security Squad, Mr. Nweke, however, explained that the job of the security outfit is not to target at a particular set of miscreants, adding that the operation of the outfit has nothing to do with any court judgment but to ensure peace and maintain law and order. We are not targeting any set of lawless people but to maintain law and order, and it has nothing to do with any judgment pronouncement. Community policing is the duty of everyone, and if the youths are desirous of fishing out bad eggs, then they have the support of the state government, but they should also be mindful of not implicating innocent people, he noted. Police Public Relations Officer SP Tochukwu Ikenga noted that the command had continually encouraged community policing and they have our backing, but they do not have the right to carry out any form of prosecution or taking the laws into their hands. All right, this is happening live in Anambra State as the information reaching us is that the people of Anambra State is scavenging for the men of the group of the Biafra Liberation forces as a result of the announcement of Mazen and the Kano's sentencing of 6 years imprisonment. All right. Also in the same Anambra State, police and vigilante arrest 5 suspected kidnappers, rescue 2 abducted women. The state police command has arrested 5 suspect kidnappers, rescued 2 victims following a joint operation with local security groups. The incident occurred on August 30th at about 7:45 p.m. when 3 women, Aminat, Mohammed Habita, were abducted According to security analysts, following the report, policemen, in collaboration with local government security initiative, launched a search operation in the surrounding bushes. All right, this is happening live, where police people team up with the security have been able to arrest kidnappers. A lot of things has been happening with this issue of kidnapping in the nation, especially now in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Um, as it were, the issue of kidnapping and abduction was a kind of alien to the people of Ndibo. It was something that uh, we never know about. It was like a fairy tale, like a folk tale that we hear in the moonlight those days. But as it is now, things have really changed. It is no more a fairy tale. It is happening right in front of our eyes. There was one that happened in Anambra State. There has been significant cases in Anambra State. The issue of house member, the issue of fish magnet, the young boy that was kidnapped, ransom demanded and was paid, and still yet um, nothing happened. The people who carried out this particular operation has not yet been apprehended, and I wonder what is the work of the government and also the work of the security forces that we have in the nation. That their work is supposed to protect life and property. I think that is the first duty that is placed on the government and also the security agencies in our different societies. All right, Kano's lawyer explain why Finnish court declared court cleared IPOB. Let's go to that information. A member of the defense team of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Barrister Christopher Chidera, on Tuesday explained why a Finnish court exonerated the group but convicted self-styled IPOB Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Chidera, who is a part of Nnamdi Kanu's global defense, Nnamdi Kanu's global defense, Barrister Christopher Chidera, on Tuesday explained why a Finnish court exonerated the group but convicted self-styled IPOB Prime Minister. Consortium, in a statement, explained that the Pijatham District Court in Finland convicted Ekpa for incitement, tax fraud, and professional misconduct, none of which IPOB is accused of. He raised serious concern about what he called malicious propaganda being orchestrated against Nnamdi Kanu. He noted the malicious article published on iBrand TV and authored by Marshall Bassi under the false and misleading headline Simon Ekpa's conviction how the Igbo Biafra dream died a natural death, on Monday describing it as a hatchet piece, fabrication, collapse under the weight of verifiable judicial records. It is propaganda designed to dampen the resilient spirit of Biafrans, but instead exposes the intellectual emptiness of its author and his sponsors. He explained that the Finnish court judgment did not find IPOB wanting, while it sentenced Simon Ekpa personally to 6 years imprisonment on charges of participation in terrorist organization, incitement, tax fraud, and professional misconduct. He added, the court never mentioned IPOB in its ruling. IPOB testified under oath that Ekpa was never a member and held no office in the movement. Ekpa himself admitted under oath that he was only a content creator and had long disowned the group. If it were guilty, Finland had the perfect opportunity to indict it. The court declined to do so because no evidence exists against the group. This silence in itself an exoneration. He frowned at what he called the article's reckless attempt to bury the Biafra dream through falsehood, describing it as pitiful. He said the author of the article deliberately ignored the legal reality that IPOB is a lawful registered movement in Finland operating transparently within the ambit of international law. He retested that IPOB is not and has never been a terrorist group. IPOB is a global self-determination movement anchored in law and justice. Any further attempt to defame IPOB will be met with lawful suit, international petition, and reputational demolition. All right, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain. And if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drops, you'll be the first to collect it. Thank you for listening. God bless you.